sunscreen. If you're a woman over 60, thinking about when to wear sunscreen can take up an inordinate amount of our thinking time. There's so much information thrown at us from the US, where the rules are different to the UK and Europe, and in Australia and New Zealand, where they have much stronger messages about when and where to wear sunscreen. And you can go down the proverbial rabbit hole following content creators and their advice. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you the 3 reasons why I think you, as an over 60 woman, should be wearing sunscreen for your skin and for your health. Now, if that sounds like your bag, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell, and we're good to go. Oh, and I'm Des, by the way. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm an over 60 Brit with a love of makeup, skincare and fashion. And a quick caveat, I'm not medically qualified, nor am I an esthetician. I'm simply a woman over 60 interested in keeping my skin as young and healthy looking as can be. And that brings me to reason number 1 for wearing sunscreen over 60, and that is to preserve elastin. Now, we know we lose collagen as we age, but we don't talk very much about elastin. Now, what is elastin exactly? Well, it's a protein like collagen, and its main role is to provide stretchiness to the skin. And it's approximately 1,000 times stretchier than collagen. Now, as we age, the elastin in our skin decreases. So, for example, if you pinch your skin when you're older because you've lost your elastin, it can take quite a few seconds to go back to where it was before. But if you have a lot of elastin in your hand, it will shrink back straight away. So elastin, along with collagen, can keep your skin firm and stretchy. I recently watched a video by Dr. Sam Bunting, who was explaining why she didn't think much of red light therapy. And in that video, she actually says UVA knackers elastin, which is why she thinks it's really important, or one of the reasons she thinks it's really important, to wear a sunscreen every day. Now, she didn't elaborate further in that video, but what I gleaned from that and what I've discovered from researching the topic, it seems that you cannot replace elastin in the way that you can replace collagen with fillers, with injectables and that kind of thing, nor can you ingest anything to improve the elastin in your skin, like you supposedly can with collagen, although I have to say I'm quite skeptical about that as well. Now, I could tell you that UV irradiation has been shown to induce expressions of matrix metalloproteinase, or MMPs for short, which cause degradation of extracellular matrix such as elastin and collagen. But don't take my word for it. Here's the study, which I'll leave details of in the info box, along with all the other studies that I've studied. So if you use sunscreen every day, you are helping to protect your elastin. The second reason you should use sunscreen every day is to prevent brown spots, or delightfully called seborrheic keratoses. Now, dermatologists are not exactly sure why seborrheic keratoses or brown spots occur, but a possible risk factor is sunlight or UV rays. However, they can also develop in areas that are not regularly exposed to the sun, so that isn't the whole story. However, they are more likely to develop in those over 50, and I can attest to that. Now, I have brown spots, and I know which ones have developed recently, and I'm 67.5, and this one is definitely one of them. Now, we've said that these lesions or these brown spots are not always attributable to the sun, they can be inherited. But I would rather not expose myself to more brown spots, as I think they can be quite unsightly. And in fact, I have had some removed in the past few years, as you can see. And I am thinking about getting rid of that one and maybe 1 or 2 others as well. Now comes the final and most important reason to wear sunscreen: cancer. In females in the UK, melanoma skin cancer is the 5th most common in women. And melanoma skin cancer is related to age, with the highest incident rates being in older people. And here's a figure that really surprised me. In the UK, between the years of 2016 and 2018, 29% of cases, so more than a quarter of cases of skin cancer, of melanoma skin cancer, were in people aged 75 and older. And UV light is the primary risk factor for those cancers, accounting for 85% of all of the skin cancers in the UK. Now, I'm going to slightly deviate from my message here and quote from Cancer Research UK, one of the most respected cancer research facilities in the world. And it says, It is difficult to study how sunscreen affects the risk of melanoma. This is partly because people who use sunscreen may stay longer in the sun because they think they're protected, so they actually get more exposure to ultraviolet overall. The best way to enjoy sun safely and protect your skin is to use a combination of shade, clothing, including sunglasses, and sunscreen. Shade and clothing are more effective than sunscreen at protecting your skin, and sunscreens shouldn't be used to spend longer in the sun, but they can be useful for protecting the parts of skin not covered by clothing or shade. Now, I do actually have a video from early 2022 where I advocated wearing a hat and sunglasses as well as a sunscreen to keep your skin looking as young as possible. And I really did take my own advice this year because I hardly sat in the sun at all. I maybe gave it 5 minutes a day. Most of the time I was in the shade. I had my hat on, I had my sunglasses on, and of course I had my sunscreen as well. Now, I haven't touched on the type of sunscreens you might want to use. Now, as we said at the beginning, the US has different rules and different types of sunscreen than we have available over here in Europe. But I do have a video about sunscreens, which I'll link up here and down below in the description box, where I do try to find a US alternative to the UK sunscreens that I can get here. And I'll also link Tamara of Tamara's Timeless Beauty video down below for you, where she takes a really deep dive into the sunscreens that she's been able to test. Now, another controversy that I haven't touched on is whether sunscreens can get into your bloodstream, but I do recommend, if you are concerned about that you watch Lab Muffin's video, which I'll also link down below for you. Now, let's finish off by talking about how much sunscreen to apply. Now, again, Lab Muffin has a wonderful video, which I'll link below, where she measures her face and then measures out a 1/4 teaspoon, which is the standard that everybody says you're supposed to use on your face. But I have to say, I don't adhere to that. I just use a blob. And as you can see, I have compared what a 1/4 teaspoon looks like, and it is quite a lot of sunscreen, I have to say. And as you can see, my application is about 1/2 of a 1/4 of a teaspoon, so 1/8 of a teaspoon, in other words. I also don't reapply because I'm not going to be sitting in the sun. If I do sit in the sun, it'll be for about 5 minutes, and that's my lot. And I'll be wearing a hat and sunglasses as well. So, have I convinced you that you should be wearing sunscreen? There's so much debate about at the moment, particularly recently, about whether you should be wearing it indoors. Now, I'm going to be putting it on every day, but the only time I probably wouldn't put it on is if I was, say, showering at the end of the day and then I was going to be going out in the evening. So let's say I was showering, washing my hair, and then it was going to be dark when I was going out, then I wouldn't be bothering with sunscreen because you wouldn't need it in the dark. Now, a quick word about the benefits of the sun. I'm going to link this article down below for you, where a journalist talked to some really eminent dermatologists that sitting in the sun lowers your blood pressure and keeps your heart healthy. Now, the writer likened this somewhat blindingly obvious research to the debate about margarine and butter, where originally margarine was thought to be better for you than butter, but now it's turned out it's the other way around. So perhaps what our grannies used to say to us is true. A little of what you fancy does you good. So to sum up, wear sunscreen if you want to protect your elastin, prevent age spots, and prevent skin cancer. I think that's quite compelling, don't you? So please let me know in the comments below. Do you apply sunscreen daily? Do you not apply it if you're staying in all day? How much do you apply? A 1/4 teaspoon, or you just put a blob on your hand and off you go? Am I talking complete BS? Do let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And thanks again so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. It really does. And I'll see you on my next video. Bye.